A fascinating case there, Ashley. President Biden going rogue by ignoring the advice of his handlers to field a few questions following his COVID address.
What's inflation? Having to pay more than the money you have because things have gone up. Well, bring down all those costs across the board, from child care to a child care tax credit. But I'm not supposed to be having this press conference right now.
There's Joe Concha to weigh in. Joe, is he ever going to stop with this "I wasn't supposed to do this" line, or are we just going to see this throughout the rest of the presidency?
And Todd, is he ever going to stop with this line that if you pass a bill where trillions of dollars are going to be spent, that somehow inflation is going to go down and it will lower the deficit and people will pay less for things? Can we please stop with that? It drives me nuts. But to your point, when he says, "I'm not supposed to be having this press conference right now," that's what his handlers, led by Jen Psaki, have instructed him to do, right? And that sums up year one of this presidency to a T. Look, this is an administration and a president that time after time is completely caught off guard on things they should see from a mile away. Omicron, boy, we didn't know that was coming. On inflation that we just talked about, it's supposed to be transitory. On crime, if we demonize cops and take away their tools, crime's going to go up while we just lax bail laws completely, where criminals don't feel like they're going to be prosecuted anymore. On the border, hey, boy, we didn't see 2 million people crossing this border illegally. On Afghanistan, hey, the Taliban took over. Wow, we didn't see that coming so quickly. So, yeah, they're caught off guard time and time again. And that's why they don't like to have press conferences, because actually yesterday, I commend the White House press corps. They actually asked good, pointed questions on testing, on the bill not passing, on Manchin, and obviously on all things COVID, where, again, we're not talking enough about the antiviral drugs that are coming very soon, particularly from Pfizer, that if you take their pill, it will keep you out of the hospital. It will keep you from dying. 90% effective rate amongst high-risk patients. That's a game changer, and I don't think we're talking about that enough. That's for sure.
Yeah, and continuing with that theme of yesterday, the White House being pressed by the mainstream media, the liberal media, here's an MSNBC host, Andrea Mitchell. Take a listen to her questioning of Dr. Fauci.
Testing shortages are profound. Isn't the administration behind the curve on being prepared to ship about 500 million free home tests when we need them now?
Yeah. Well, we're going to hopefully quickly catch up with that curve.
I mean, look, Joe, that's a really good question. Why has our federal government really been imposing mandates that are just ticking everyone off when they really should have been focusing on testing this entire year? Yet here we are in December. Where's the testing? Is this part of a sea change, do you think, with regard to the media finally holding this administration accountable? Or is this a one-off and we're going to be back to normal soon on some other issue?
Well, I think that it was impossible not to ask these questions when you have a President Biden or a Dr. Fauci in front of you. Remember, President Biden just a year ago said it was a travesty that we didn't have enough testing. And here he's had a year to ramp that up. And suddenly, again, they're caught off guard, completely flat-footed. And perhaps Dr. Fauci, by the way, should make his New Year's resolution to work on his diet. And we're not talking about what we talk about, Todd, cutting down on carbs and dessert, but his media diet. He's on the air all the time, speculating, sharing his gut feelings, opinions, hair standing on the back of his neck type of thing, and confusing people in the process. Dr. Fauci and this administration, again, they should have been on this testing things months and months ago. Instead, he's on the air all the time and doesn't seem to be working enough behind the scenes. This testing capacity, again, to be sending all this out now after Omicron is here. What is it, 93% of cases now in this country are Omicron? This is not good for this administration. The one thing they were polling halfway decently on was their handling of COVID. They were 20 points higher than their disapproval just a couple months ago. Now they're underwater, Todd, and on all those things we talked about before: inflation and crime, the border, and Afghanistan.
Yeah, Republicans licking their chops, but again, you don't want to do it in the context of tragedy for the American people. So hopefully we get through this Omicron and the Republicans realize, hey, we need to take advantage of it, but not push it too much. Joe Concha, we appreciate your time. Merry Christmas to you, my friend.
Oh, Merry Christmas. It was hard getting up today after Tuesday night football. Hopefully that isn't a thing going forward, because this job will become increasingly difficult.
Right. It will ruin the country. Ashley, thank you very much.
Yeah. I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.